really cold.
Hello, everyone. Chris is saying he's getting old. Well, you only think you're getting. That's the mindset, mate. It's just down to the mindset. If you think you're old, you're going to be old, aren't you?
Yeah,
If you start turning around to yourself and say, I'm getting old, I never say I'm getting old.
yeah.
I don't give a shit. It's just a number.
Well, you can't help it. You just got to go with it, haven't you? You just got to keep.
Of course, yeah.
Going.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, you just need to be in a young frame of mind.
I think you've got a better hairstyle than me.
Yeah, I've probably got a better hairstyle than the majority of people on this fucking planet.
Van Gerwen strikes again.
Yeah. Well, the kids keep saying I keep winding the kids up. One of my lads has got a mullet, and I'm going. I might grow a mullet, and he's going. In fact, he calls it a skullet. He was made up because some Australian said to him, "Oh, that's a skullet you've got," and he's going, "What the fuck's a skullet?" Because he gets a shave down the side, proper shave down the side, and and it's called a skullet. Pardon?
That's not what a mullet is.
No, mullet is just your hair, just like all going back, isn't it? But not like shit. He's got it proper shaved down the side, like down to the bone.
Oh, like Igor Jesus, who plays.
Yeah. And he fucking wants it permanent at the back. Like I'm going.
Kevin Keegan's coming back, mate.
I know a Keegan perm on the back. They know you can fuck off. So the wife's fucking blow drying it now every morning and killing it up for him. What the fuck are you doing that for?
Never happened in our day, that did it? I mean,
No, we just had flicks, didn't we? It was all both fun, wasn't it? 80s shit I had,
I remember having the curtains in.
Oh, yeah. I think when I first met you, you had curtains.
Yeah, I had curtains. I remember I had I had the David Beckham. Do you know when he had the long, so it was down here, my hair, and then I had it in curtains, and they used to call me Beckham at work. Yeah. I was a better footballer than him, though, to be honest with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's.
But getting old's not easy, I don't think, because it's like aches and pains. I've noticed. I'm 46 now, and I've had a bad back for quite a few years. But I've noticed now my knees, my ankles. You know, if you go,
I've got a bad back. My knees are done in my ankle. What the fuck you been doing? Don't you mean? You've been hog-tied.
I went to one of your Masonic meetings, mate. They put something in my drink, and I'm not sure. I think I was sacrificed as a virgin. But yeah, getting old's not easy, mate. And I don't know what to do with my hair. It's like I joke about it on in my set that I'll go to hairdressers, and the barber will sit down and go, "How can I help?" And I just go, "Just do your fucking best, mate. He's running out of ideas." But the barbers always try and I think they try and make it look as good as they can, don't they? But I think they cut it long, it's longer on that side than it is on this side. I need to go to the barbers, but I am very tempted to just go back to the hairstyle I had mostly when I was a kid was shaved because my mum had some clippers and it was cheaper than going to the barbers.
Yeah, well, my wife just fucking shaves mine now. I mean, I haven't been the barbers now for about 2 years. It's pointless, isn't it?
Yeah. I like to go for a beard trim, but I did my own the other day. It's not hard, is it? Just clipping this bit up and whatever. It's not hard.
The thing I did like about the Turkish place, though, they used to put fucking wax up my nose and wax my nose.
So I do that, yeah. And
I like that.
Sometimes do that bit.
Have you got a monobrow, have you?
No, not really. I think I'm all right because it's these are quite long at the minute. I can see me fucking eyebrow. Grab them. Fucking, yeah. That's another thing of getting old.
Yeah, when you're getting older, it's I don't know. I think it's when you're 40, you start fucking growing loads of hairs out your ears and out your nose. And
yeah. I had a massive hair growing out the shaft of my cock the other week. Not my bollocks. Not where it should be growing. It was on the shaft of my dick. And it was fucking, it must have been that long, so I pulled it out, but it was fucking, what's that all about? They just sprout from everywhere, don't they?
You know what? I bought the Alpecin years ago. Remember the Alpecin, that German engineering that makes your fucking hair grow? Didn't work. I just got fucking hairy feet.
You can get that spray now, can't you, that puts it on. I turned around to a guy who was doing some extra work the other day, and I turned around to this geezer, and he's like bald, like yourself, but he had nothing.
Oh, we've got loads of hair, man.
But he had nothing on the back, like you've got hair on the back and sides. If you were to grow that out, you'd be a grey Willie Thorne. I think you've got it's that bit that's missing, isn't it?
I do it at Christmas if we get a job as Santa.
So you could get this hair replacement thing because they take hair follicles out the back and they put them on the top. So you could you could come back like looking like Kevin Keegan, I think, if you went to Turkey.
I told you, if once this pod's fucking smashing it and we're making decent money, I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll do it. We'll get a sponsor. We'll get fucking Alpacin or whoever it is to sponsor us. I'll get my teeth done. I'll get fucking laser eye vision. Cha-ching.
That is one of the things that I would like to do, mate. I fucking hate wearing these bins. I really do. But if I've taken them off, I can see you, but it's a little bit blurry.
I'd keep them on, mate, if I were you.
My longest sight's all right, but it's when I go to read. That's the reason because I've got varifocals now. I used to have, like, up until a few months ago, I had a pair of glasses that I wore for like normal driving, all that kind of stuff, and then I'd like if I'm doing the pod, I'd have to. Well, they were okay for the pod, but like they said for screens and reading, I'd got these reading glasses, so I've gone for varifocals now. And I'll be honest, they are quite good. You know, you just have to get used to which area of the glasses you look at. So you look down and it's for reading. If you look straight ahead, it's for your longer sight, so it's good. But yeah, getting old's not easy. But like you say, I'm very much like you. I'm all for growing old gracefully. Like I won't go and I'll just shave my head and have bald, I think. But
I was speaking to somebody the other day, and he's going, "I'm going to get myself a nice car because it'll probably be the last car I buy." And he's fucking 63.
Wow.
You know, and it's like having that mindset, you're just going to fucking automatically fall into that. I suppose as you're getting older, you know, my mum died at probably about 10 years ago. You know, my dad's really ill now, and I'm thinking more at the moment. You know, when he goes, I'm going to be an orphan. But you know, as well as being an orphan, I'm going to sort of like it's like me's going to be next in the family, you know, or my sister or something, and it's just So I think your mortality. You think more about your mortality and how long you've got left, and I'm thinking if I make it to 80, you know, I've got like 23 years left, or if I make it to 90, my dad's 90, he could well make it to 90, you know.
I think if you can, it's best just not to think about it. I mean, I remember saying to my sister years ago, I was probably in my 20s, that I know, you know, I have abused my body bad with various substances, mainly alcohol. But I have done stupid things. I've smoked since I was 12. I've been drinking since I was 12, 13. But round about the same time, I discovered alcohol on the park, and then my mate said, "Do you want a cigarette?" And I'm like, "No." And I resisted it for months, and then all of a sudden I just thought, you know what, fuck it. Everyone else is doing it. I'll have a go. So all these years I've been doing this stuff, and my dad's got COPD and emphysema, and he packed up in his early 40s smoking, and he's still got these now. He's nearly 70. I just think though, when I was like thinking about drinking and stuff, it's like when I would go to like our local pub, some of the mates I used to drink with, they were far worse than me. Far worse, drinking every day and this.
Yeah.
But they had,
yeah.
But they had physical jobs. Like me and you, we've worked in offices and done non-physical jobs for a lot of it. I mean, we've both done physical jobs throughout.
Yeah.
Now and then. I've done, when I met Jane, I'd done like 5-6 years in warehousing and production. And I was healthier, I've got to say, because I was busy walking, doing the steps every day, lifting stuff. You know, your body's more healthy. And I think, like, when I first got diagnosed with the diabetes, she said to me, if you keep moving, you'll get the glucose out of your blood. And it's as simple as that. If you move more, eat less sugary shit, you'll be okay. But it's like kind of like I'm looking at these tablets I've got here. Like I've got one which is for heartburn, acid reflux, and then I've got my statins and I've got my metformin. And I'm thinking, Jesus, my dad's on about 30 tablets a day at the minute, and I'm on that first run of that ladder, aren't I? It's like, it's not going to be long.
Yeah, but you know what? They're keeping you healthy, to keep you alive.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's when I first got tablets for my diabetes. I was so depressed about it. Then I realised, but I mean, I've got young kids, haven't I? And they keep me young. I want to be around as long as I can for them.
Keep you active and that, yeah. Yeah.
And you keep me active, yeah. I was an hour and a half rugby training last night. We got an hour of football tonight.
Yeah.
You
do stuff, aren't you? I mean, like walking the dogs.
Yeah. I mean, I always walk up to drop the kids off for school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good if it's walking distance.
Yeah. So
country lane.
I always try to. I mean, I was more actively walking during lockdown, and I really need to get back to that. But it's just so easy just to jump in the car and nip up to the fucking shop.
We loved lockdown, mate. The walking, we got dead. The first lockdown, we got dead fit and stopped drinking. We didn't do any of that. It was like really good. And then the second lockdown, we still did the walking, but I was drinking a lot during lockdown. Like I say, I remember I think it was Christmas time. I remember me and Lottie walking to the shop 3 times to fetch Born beer and whatever. It was mad, really crazy. But hopefully, touch wood, like we won't ever have anything like that. I mean, there's a meningitis scare recently, wasn't there? And they thought it was going to be another.
No, the next one's going to be the fucking bomb, mate.
Flash gone.
Apparently, I've read this. I don't know how true it is. That the chief of staff, the American chief of staff, has taken the fucking nuclear code off Trump.
Good.
Because he don't fucking trust him.
Good.
I don't know how true it is. I don't know if I've got my facts wrong there, but if it is, all very well and good. But he's just fucking nuts anyway.
The world, mad, hasn't it? The world has gone absolutely mad. Like,
I know, we had some woman screaming at me yesterday. Honestly, fucking, I come out the car park. I went to the hospital. Come out the car park. Come to a set of lights, and you turn left. And when you turn left, there's 2 lanes. One to go right, and one to either go straight ahead or turn left. Well, I was turning left, so I was in the left-hand lane, and some woman's flashing me from behind, and I can't go because I was sort of like on the corner, I was like a boxed area. I was sort of like on the corner, and then she pulls alongside me and she starts giving me fucking grief and go, "What have I done?" She's going round to turn right, so she was doing the right thing, but she just started going out and fucking screaming at me. I don't know.
It's
crazy, mate.
The world's gone batshit, mate. It has gone crazy. I was talking at the end of the last pod that I wanted to talk about toxic masculinity stroke feminism. It's just like I scroll Facebook a lot, as everybody does nowadays, and what I've noticed, like quite prevalently on a number of different posts from women, that there's like, I don't know if I'd call it man-hating, but feminism seems to have taken like a further turn than what it was. Like, obviously feminism, brilliant, all about, equality, votes, making it so that, there's equality, equal pay and all that. And I agree with all that stuff. But I don't know, I might be wrong, but I can't ever remember. And toxic masculinity is horrible as well. So it's like, I think extremes of anything is bad. Far left is bad, far right is bad. You need somewhere in the middle to live a good life and stuff. But with this one, it's almost like anything that a man says or does that is any way in relation, it doesn't even really need to be related to the specific person, the woman. But there seems to be a lot of like attacking men and what they say and what they do and this, that and the other. And I don't know, it's like, I'm not caught. I mean, my missus calls herself a feminist. Her mum is what you would call a bit of a radical kind of feminist. I think she literally does hate.
You've mentioned that a few times on the pod before.
Yeah, she doesn't like me, but that's fine. I don't like her either. It's one of those, isn't it? Well, not that I don't like her, we just don't get on. We never really have, and stuff. And she's very judgmental, and it's that kind of. I don't know what I'm really trying to say, but I've just noticed a lot of posts recently where it's like, you know, men aren't allowed to make comments anymore because it's against what they want.
Yeah, I mean, but wouldn't you say on the flip side of that, that's the same for women, with like Andrew Tate
Yeah,
and and all that. So you know, I don't think you can sort of like highlight that because it's been happening to them, or it is happening to them. You know, so I don't think you can highlight that as such. I think it's just social media.
yeah,
You know, it's just social media. I mean, you know, we're all equal, aren't we? You know, this sort of like goes back to like suffragettes and Emily Pankhurst and stuff like that. We're just in a different time.
yeah,
You know, we're just in a different time, and the social media just taking over it and pushing it so much.
yeah,
You know, and you know, you go and I'm so concerned about all these youngsters who are looking up to Andrew Tate and all those other fucking knobheads who were on that Louis Theroux show, the Manosphere the other week. And I'm thinking that they're great and they're great role models. And you've got that in the female, you know, in the female sort of like section as well, haven't you? You know, you've got that there as well. But I'm so concerned that the people are taking this on board and looking up to them and thinking that they're great role models. It's really worrying. We've spoken about it before, but yeah, and I can understand where, you know, females are coming from, and you're going to get it, aren't you?
yeah.
You know.
I saw a post the other day which was like basically saying that men should call out misogyny, and I agree with that. If there's, you know, if you've got people who are being like legitimately misogynistic, it should be called out. Like, you know, I've always said to our kids, like, and whether or not this is me being a bit misogynistic, I don't know, but I've always like cared about what they wear when they go out and stuff. But from my perspective, it's like risk management rather than anything else.
Yeah.
You know, wear what you like. I mean, I've been taking the piss out of Lottie recently because she's started wearing these great big baggy trousers. I remember us talking about it on the pod in November, and Joe was saying that baggy trousers are coming back, and yeah, I was singing the Madness song to her the other day because I'm literally, she could fit her and her sister in these fucking trousers. They're like so baggy, it's unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like, you know, you'd fit her body. I think you would fit her body in there. I mean, she's a slim lady, but you know, you'd literally fit her body in there. But that's just a fashion trend that's come back round. But yeah, I just think it's problematic when, you know, you're calling people out. My comment on that, and it's a friend of mine on Facebook, and I just basically said live and let live, and she came back and said live and let what live, and I kind of just said live. Just let people do what they want to do in life. You know, it's nobody else's business what I do. It's nobody else's business what you do. And I shouldn't comment on what you're doing, and you shouldn't comment on what I'm doing. You know, not in a militant way. You know, if you want to comment on what we do on the pod, that's absolutely fine. If you want to comment on what I put out on my Facebook, then that's absolutely fine as well. But when it's like a militant attack, I think then it becomes a little bit harsh. And I was watching a program with Jane last night. It's a really good watch actually. It's called The Teacher. I think it was on, I can't remember what channel it was. Was it ITV or 5? And it was basically, there was this young girl basically attacking a teacher. She'd misnamed somebody who was trans or non-binary, called them she or he or whatever it may well have been. And this woman got called a TERF. Have you heard that term?
No.
No. So I just
I know. Got grass growing out of it.
So it's the J.K. Rowling thing. So it's called a trans exclusionary radical feminist. So it's basically like I suppose it's the top end of radical feminism, because what they're basically saying is that they are massively feminist, but they don't agree with like, if you were born a guy, you shouldn't be competing in women's sports and stuff like that. And J.K. Rowling came out with this, and she's been vilified. She's kind of won it all back again, hasn't she? She's kind of, it's not really affected her, and she's kind of said, I'm not bothered. But yeah, so that's that term and these terms.
I mean, just to say, J.K. Rowling was in favour of that, isn't she? That if you're born a man, you shouldn't compete in women's sport.
Yeah, so that's what. Yeah. So they call her a TERF, a trans exclusionary radical feminist. So she's a feminist, but yeah, doesn't agree with stuff like that. And yeah, I think there's a lot of that about now. And I guess the question is that like, is that kind of just being against men fully? Because if you're not supporting a trans male, so somebody who's male transitioned into female, it's still got that connotation that, I've heard words come out of people that I know's mouth saying, that person isn't a woman because they've not gone through everything that I've gone through in life as a woman, so they can't possibly be a woman. My head is firmly in the space of, Charlie, if you turn around to me tomorrow and say that, look, I want to be known as Cheryl from now on, and I'm going to be wearing a dress on the pod, and this, that, and the other, that's absolutely fine. If you want to do that, I'll support you in doing that. I would be on the side of saying, but you can't go and compete in the shot put in the Olympics against women.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I'm totally with you.
Yeah.
I'm totally in there, and I will wear the dress after this blue shirt comes off and go by the name of Cheryl. I quite like that actually. I might start fantasizing about it. But anyway, carry on. I mean, I had an experience last week where.
Oh, did you?
The barmaid in the holiday camp we were in was quite clearly trans. And it's like, it was she, and, what do you call them? I was having a discussion with
he and her, isn't it? The general.
Yeah. And it was funny because basically she come over and she had a tray of drinks and she dropped me Mrs.'s gin and slimline all over the place. And I cleared it all up and I put it on the next table like that. She comes back with the gin and slimline. And I'm looking at her thinking, you going to clear this shit up? Because I've just cleaned it up for you. At least you can take it away. And the other person we were with, she turned around to me and said, yes, it is. I said, what do you mean? She said, yes, it's what you're thinking. And I wasn't, I knew it was, I knew it was, that's a terrible word. I knew they were trans, and that's not what I was getting at, looking at them with this strange look. It was like, are you going to clear this shit up? But it's weird how people react, don't they? I already knew that. And then my missus is going, why? What's going on? I said, oh, that barmaid's trans. And she's going, really? Is she? I said, yeah. And it's weird, isn't it, that people's different reactions?
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously I'm on the comedy circuit, and, there's every form of life. People are living whatever lifestyles they want to live on there, and acting as well, and, if you're trans, non-binary, male, female, whatever it is that you want to identify as, I've not particularly got any problems with that at all. It's like, why should it bother anybody else? If it does bother you, if it's, you tend to find that the problems that are caused with this, they're not really anything to do with the fact that the person's trans. So it's like, it's easy, isn't it? If you see a trans person, female, so male that's transitioned into female, it's easy to call that person her or she, because it's obvious that that's what they want to be identifying as. But there are some that will still dress and make themselves up as females, but still want to be referred to as he. So that's problematic.
I think some of the wording and all that's wrong, isn't it?
The bit that does me, and it does come up in this TV show, The Teacher, that we watched last night. The one that kind of I think is problematic in my head is the they them.
Yeah.
Because so they're non-binary, so they're not identifying as male or female. They're non-binary, so you refer to them as they them, they this, them that kind of thing. And I just think that it's problematic in the fact that sometimes people are going to slip. You know, it's easy to if someone presents as a female that used to be male, that's easy to go her or she. It's easy because that's what you see. It's almost like catchphrase, isn't it? Say what you see.
Yeah. It's like Sam Smith, isn't he? He took it to the extreme.
Yeah.
Right to the extreme. And you know what? I think he's a fantastic singer. I love Sam Smith. I think he's brilliant. But I mean, if you hear me talking about him now, him, he, and all that, he'd go fucking off his head.
It does.
You know.
Does Sam Smith identify as non-binary?
Yeah.
So it's they them. But yeah, it's tough, and I think, you know, I don't think it's like, I don't think legitimately this is down. It's purely down. This program was a female teacher who dead named the person to start with. So that's when you call them. So the easy example of that is like the Ricky Gervais bit where he goes on about dead naming Caitlyn Jenner, and he goes on about Bruce and this, that, and the other. So that's like,
I'll tell you something about Caitlyn Jenner in a minute.
Yeah, that's the one where they call it dead naming. But this person in the program, it's a female teacher. I think they've done that really well because it would have been so easy for the writers to have made that character male, and I think that's really good, and that's where the whole TERF thing comes from. So she's a feminist, and she like openly kind of goes, you know, I was fighting the patriarchy before you were born, so to speak. But it's not a feminism patriarchy argument. It's a completely different type of thing. It's all about inclusion, you know. And I remember like when I was working in housing and we did the E&D, like the equality and diversity training and stuff with the strands. And I don't even know how many strands there are now, but there was 9 strands of equality and diversity that, you know, you're not allowed to. You can't discriminate for disability, sex, gender, age, pregnancy, stuff like that. So it's all the training that you do. But I just feel I feel it's a forgivable thing. I don't, you know, I feel like, you know, it's a forgivable concept to be like, you know, if you decide you could like go, I'm non-binary tomorrow, and I refer to you as he, and automatically I become one of these people that is excluding the trans rights and stuff. And I won't 100%. A good example of this, and it's not happened to me as yet, but there's a lot of trans acts on the trans non-binary on the comedy circuit, and if I'm emceeing and introducing them, you will generally do like a bit of a blurb about it. You know, you'll kind of say, I've seen this act, or this is one of the up and coming acts, she's really good. That could like automatically I could have like misgendered, you know, if that's somebody who identifies as non-binary. So it's a bit of a minefield that, you know, you have to make sure that you ask questions and you make sure that you're doing the right thing. But there's been a lot of stuff on social media. I saw a post the other day it was a guy that had commented about disabled access to a gig, and somebody had kind of come on and gone into this guy about, you know, not being you know, inclusive and this, that, and the other. It's kind of like you're reading it and you're going, yeah, well, yeah, you know, if I was to put on a gig, ideally I'd have it on a ground floor where it's completely inclusive of people who are disabled and all that kind of stuff. But the ideal place to have a gig is in a room that's not in the bar, and a lot of the time they're upstairs. So you can't do it. You know, you can't always be inclusive. And, you know, I don't know. It's just, I'm sure we'll chat about it more on other pods, but it's just, yeah, toxic masculinity is terrible, but I also think toxic feminism is too, where there's almost
if we're being equal, it's got to be.
Yeah, and I think there's almost like there's almost kind of a seeking out in some ways. I'm not like accusing anybody or anything, but there's almost like something happens.
Yeah.
automatically people just want to jump on that bandwagon.
Yeah, no, but there is, isn't there? There's always people out there. There's always, no matter what subject it is, if somebody's on one, they'll just fucking jump on it, won't they?
Yeah.
You know,
And
and it doesn't matter what it is, and that's in every subject.
yeah,
You know?
and virtue signalling in my head comes into this program that I watched as well, because like the main antagonist of the story, she's kind of like she kind of virtue signals. So she's straight white female and jumps to the aid of this person that gets misnamed and this and the other, and then they end up falling out. And I won't ruin it because it's a really good show if people want to watch it. But yeah, it kind of goes along those lines, and I don't know. It's just I don't like remember. I grew up in kind of like a very traditional kind of upbringing, I suppose. It was very much like my dad was the breadwinner, my mum did the washing, the cleaning, the ironing, all that kind of stuff. But then as time went on, my mum went out to work a bit more, and my dad, he was ill. And my dad had the dinner on the table for my mum in the evening, and he did the cleaning, and it was very much like, so I've kind of lived both in my family dynamic, where my dad's been the main person earning the money, and doing all the, doing all the work. And then when he was ill, my mum went out to work. My dad still earned money, he still did stuff from home, but he would do all the domestic stuff. I remember it was so lovely. He'd have my mum's dinner on the table. My mum struggles with her feet, and he'd have like a foot spa ready for her when she came in from work. It was just lovely. It's such a lovely relationship. And they've been together since the 70s, and it's such a beautiful, I have such a beautiful relationship with my parents, and they have such a beautiful relationship with each other. They've stuck by each other through thick and thin. And there's been so you would say that initially it was patriarchal. My dad was like the lead of that. But, as times changed and things couldn't be like that anymore, they changed and, they helped each other out. And I just don't understand why the world can't be like that one example of such unrequited love.
Yeah.
Not unrequited. Sorry, that means that one doesn't love the other, doesn't it? There's no parameters on their love. It's just like they'll argue, but they'll always make up. They'll always, they'll always have each other's backs. Like, I've got your back, mate. If you ever need me, I'll be over to Chester straight away. And I don't get why the world has to be so toxic in both corners.
Yeah. But we've discussed this before, haven't we? It's not just this. It's everything. It's everything that's going on. And
Joe's a good example that I can use. Like when we were doing the pod and Joe was on, he's coming on the 1st of May, so it'll be out that week when he comes on. I'm really looking forward to chatting to him and seeing how he's going. I think he's in Spain or abroad somewhere.
Yeah, he's in Spain at the moment, I think.
He'll have a brown head.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's coming back on. But he got so much hate and stuff from posting stuff out that he was almost scared to post the Funnyfarm stuff out on his own personal feed, because he was getting so many people on his feed giving him shit. And it's like there's just this whether it's toxic feminism, toxic masculinity, it's just toxic, isn't it? It's just everybody wants to have a go at everybody else, and
just let live, and just get on with your life. Just get on with your fucking lives. Just worry about what's going on in your own fucking life than anybody else's. That's all you need to do.
You should, in my opinion, and we have 33 minutes, so we're going to have to wrap up in a bit. That was a good, lively chat, but I think you should just help people and be aware of stuff that's going to trigger. But if you do trigger somebody, and everybody does, some of the stuff we've discussed on the pod might trigger certain people, but we're not meaning to. Do you know what I mean? We're not doing it to be controversial. We're discussing stuff that, because I watched a programme on TV last night and saw a couple of posts on Facebook, we're discussing this. And I think it's important to discuss things like this.
We were discussing shits yesterday.
Yeah, we poos and farts and everything. So we go a bit silly sometimes, but this has been quite a serious one. Please, I do encourage you, you know, what we've chatted about today, I'd really love to hear some people's views on this. We haven't had a messages from the herd for a while, so we could probably do one of those soon with what people are saying, because I know I got some shit for saying that Paul McCartney can't sing, which I stand by. I stand by it wholeheartedly. I have to wear glasses, you cock. Anyway, so, but yeah, please write in hello@funnyfarmpod.co.uk. Follow us on socials, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok. Follow me on socials, Chris Richmond Facebook, @ChrisRichComedian, TikTok and Instagram. And just follow Charlie home.
Charlie Lucas, if you want to.
Charlie Lucas on Facebook and @Funnyfarm Pod on. He is the man. Here's one thing for you, just to close this off as well. Lots of people think that it's me for some reason that does Charlie does all of our social media, and he's doing a cracking job of it, and he's desperate to get to 1,000 followers so that he could take that Everton shirt off. And one of you lucky viewers might win it if you can get us there.
And I won't wash it. How's that?
That's not going to turn them on, mate, that.
You never know.
Right.
There's some fucking weirdos in this world.
Do everything you need to do, guys. Follow us and all that good stuff. And, anything further, Charlie? Anything more to say?
Just a quick one. I was going to mention Caitlyn Jenner before.
Yes.
Well, she's kicking off, isn't she, now? Because she was a staunch Trump supporter. Wasn't she? But now he's fucking stopped all that, and she can't have it on his passport. She's female.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's all fucked up on her. There you go. Anyway, I'll leave it on that.
That just goes to show how tough it must be to be a politician. I'm not supporting Trump, but you say one thing, you put one policy or one thing in your manifesto that affects people like that. I remember my sister always saying that she will always vote for what's best for her family. And I think a lot of people do that, don't they? I always vote for whoever's in my local area, who the MP is going to be. But yeah, it just goes to show that Trump's, by isolating one particular part of the community, that could fuck him up big time, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, and on that note, we love you all. See you tomorrow.
See you guys.